Let's play a Miami Hurricanes recruiting hypothetical. Joe Klatt threw it out there. He said he thinks Miami's going to win 11 games, and he's not the only one expressing confidence in the Canes coming up big this season. So if that is to happen, what are you hearing on some priority targets that the Canes could make a move on this fall?
Well, I think that if Miami finishes 11-1 like Joel Klatt is projecting, they'll be one of the fun teams to follow at the end of the cycle. They finished with a top 5 class a year ago. You put 11-1 on Mario Cristobal's resume going out into the field, talking about restoring glory, getting Miami to a national championship. That could be the difference in a couple recruitments. You immediately look at the DBs. You see 5-star DJ Pickett committed to LSU. Ben Hanks, he's announcing his college decision this weekend. Florida is the on-3 RPM favorite, including my prediction. I think you see Miami try and get back in the middle of both of those recruitments, and DJ Pickett's one you particularly look at and say, hey, wouldn't be surprised if he ultimately put pen to paper for Miami. Elijah Griffin's kind of the top prospect on the board for Miami right now that's uncommitted. 5-star defensive lineman from the state of Georgia. On 3 RPM favors the Bulldogs. I'm one of those predictions in favor of Kirby Smart and company, but he's been to Miami a couple times. Him and his mom feel real comfortable in Coral Gables, like Taylor, Coach Joe Salavea, Coach Cristobal, and that staff. And I think Miami's a dark horse for Elijah Griffin. Now, we're heavy on Georgia right now, but if you give Miami an opportunity to recruit that young man at 11-1, we'll see what happens. You know, they were able to flip Justin Scott out of Chicagoland from Ohio State to Miami, and the returns on him are strong right now. Miami will also look to flip a couple receivers, Josh. You got Joshua Moore currently committed to Florida. And you have Dallas Wilson, who's currently committed to Oregon. Those are 2 pass catchers they're not going to go away on. They'll try and recruit Vernell Brown the third, too. I think it's going to be tough to flip the Florida legacy, but he's someone that they'll have their sights set on. And then we'll see who has great senior years. We'll see who emerges. Mario and Cristobal and company aren't going to be afraid to recruit anybody, whether they're 5-7, 7-5, or 11-1. But if they're 11-1, it's going to be an exciting finish for the Canes on the trail. And those are some of the names I'll be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, and it seems like one tradition with Mario Cristobal at the end of every cycle is to flip a prospect from Ohio State, whether it's Justin Scott or Mark Fletcher. What about TJ Alford? Because he's from Vero Beach, Florida. We know that the linebacker kind of had Miami in his sights. He made an early decision, but is TJ Alford one that you're watching with the Canes as well?
Well, we'll see what happens with the Miami linebacker commits during the season. But if all the guys that are currently committed to the Hurricanes play to the caliber that they're expecting them to, I think Miami's pretty much done at the linebacker position, unless it's just a prospect that, hey, he's top of the board no matter what. When you're talking about like an Elias Williams tight end committed to Georgia, Miami has one of the best tight end recruiting classes in the country. They're done, but I think they'd have a hard time telling Elias Williams no. I don't know if there's that linebacker out there for them right now, but maybe they would come back around on a TJ Alford if some of those guys underperform as seniors, guys that are already committed.
All right, Miami fans, play along with our hypothetical. You guys win 11 games. Who is your priority flip target? Let us know. Comment section below.